Hey YouTube, Jeremy here. Today I'm going to show you how to rewire a trailer. A little bit of backstory why I'm doing this. A couple of weeks ago I went out to Otis to go fishing. Got up there really early. Had parked the car along the entryway, left my lights on, went to go set up some stuff behind the kayaks and noticed that it was completely pitch black back there. The reason? No running lights, so no tail lights. Afterwards discovered that also I had never had my license plate light lit up either. Blinker and brake lights worked just fine. Everything was fine on the car. Those two items were fine on the trailer. It was just the running lights. Checked all the fuses that I could find. Get to that in a minute. Everything seemed normal. So took it to my mechanic who installed the hitch just to make sure that all the lines running from the box were fine. Turns out, there was actually two reasons. It turns out in my wiring in the trailer, and I had bought this used, there was a short in the lead running to the running lights, which had tripped a fuse that was in the trunk. So pay attention, Honda, specifically CR-V owners, if you see something like this, check the back seat. In my case, there's a panel on the left side wheel well that contained a single fuse only for that line. The brakes and blinker all tied into the main fuse box. Don't know why. It's a thing, apparently. So keep that in mind. So in trying to troubleshoot this, I found a complete rat's nest of wiring. So I decided, you know, wiring a trailer is not supposed to be a complicated matter. You actually only have 4 wires that you have to run. White is ground. Electricians, I can hear you complaining right now. It's not even a car thing, it's a trailer thing. Don't ask me why. White is ground. Brown is your running lights. That's what had shorted and blew my fuse. Yellow is your left turn indicator and brake light. Green is your right turn indicator and brake light. No clue what that was. So, ideally, the way that this should go, I'll kind of move everything here. You know, I'm just gonna pick the camera up here. Your wire should come in through here, run down the trailer, and pick one side or the other to go down, and put your green and yellow off. Your brown should be running in series. So in other words, whatever side you decide to go down, pick one side, doesn't really matter. Start with that one. Terminate your brown wire at that light, and then run another section of brown along the back. I do have brake light tail lights that run along the bottom. It's overkill. You only really need those for trailers, I believe, that are 81 inches or wider. This certainly doesn't fit that criteria, but it never hurts to have those lights there. So I'm going to rewire those as well. Those tie off of the brown, and then finally terminate at your last remaining indicator. So what I found instead was a crisscross of wires. It's grounded in no less than 6 places. There are also no less than 3 splices in a single line, which also resulted in a change of colors in more than one location. I took a look at the wires and wound up pulling out a black wire. That's not part of the scheme. I have no clue what line that was supposed to be from. So the more places you have butt connectors, splices, terminations, the more chances you have of something running afoul. So you want to run a clean wire through, terminate where you have to, splice where you have to, but you know, don't do these weird connectors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip every ounce of wire out of this trailer. To do that, I just have a handy dandy pair of wire cutters right here. We start by doing that. Then we're going to run brand new wire from the front to the back. You're going to need a few things. First things first, you are going to need wire. This is not too horribly expensive. I picked this up at Tractor Supply. It's all 4 colors. You can see. All run together. 25 feet total. This set me off by like $16. It's not bad at all. So picked one of those up. In my case, I also don't like the look of the trailer connector. There are 2 ends that you have to get. The trailer end is 3 males, 1 female. That's your ground coming in there. The car end is 3 females, 1 male. So in this case, we want the trailer end. The car end's just fine. I also picked up some liquid electrical tape. Anything that I'm going to solder, which, oh, I forgot to grab that. That's up in the house. I'm gonna have to pause this and grab that. Anything you solder, we generally want to stay waterproof. Put 2 coats of this on that joint. It allows things to remain flexible but sealed. It doesn't take too long to cure. I believe 10 minutes in between coats, 2 coats minimum. That should seal everything. I also got heat shrink tubing. This is not necessarily waterproof. There's some better stuff out there. This is what I could find in my local store, hence why the electrical tape. Butt splices for when I absolutely need them. And then in my little kit of random stuff, I also have some terminated ends right there. And I'm gonna have to get my crimper out. That's right here. So you're gonna need a crimper. You're also gonna want some zip ties. I got some heavy duty zip ties. Anywhere where you've got wire running outside the trailer, you wanna secure it as well as you can. You don't want this coming loose, catching on something, and then ripping your wiring harness out. And last but not least, lighter. If you can get a butane torch, go for it. Otherwise, a lighter will work as well. This is to shrink the heat shrink tubing. Remember, don't hold it in one place, keep it moving. This is okay if it's not a windy day. It's not a windy day. Otherwise, go for butane. I'm not gonna be doing any soldering just yet, so I think I'll get that later when I need it. And then, get a ratchet wrench. This just matches the same size as where all my ground wires come in. They are bolted to the trailer, which is nice. So pick one of those up. You don't need a ratchet. It's not like you're gonna be doing anything heavy duty with it. Just a simple wrench will be fine. So, that being said, let's rip the wires out. All right, so we're gonna start by unclipping all these. You can see this is where my ground comes in. This is the old wire harness. We're actually gonna be getting rid of this as well. So, let's clip all these zip ties. There, and with that, the trailer is officially wire free. I'm going to go ahead and cut these as close to the butt joints as I can. And toss this up front with the rest of the garbage.